All right. Episode 9. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. We're getting a little bit of people paying attention to what we've got going on. And I'm really excited to have Miss Jessica Hardesty-Nollar with us today. And I always screw up your last name.
No, you actually did it right. I always tell people it's Nollar like dollar.
Okay. So that good. And it is hyphenated, Hardesty-Nollar.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for about, did you say sir?
Yeah.
Well, how would you do that? That's hilarious. All right. Jessica's usually not this polite to me in passing.
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day. All right. So Jessica is a team leader for Keller Williams Louisville. You've been in this role for almost a year.
It'll be
August
year.
1?
Mid-August.
Mid-August. Okay.
Yes.
So I think we started the interview process sometime in mid-July. Yep. All right. Well, without further ado, tell everybody who you are, what you're about, and then we'll just see where this conversation goes.
Awesome. My name's Jessica Hardesty-Nollar. I am a mama of Gavin. He is one of my big whys, and my husband is Brad, and I have amazing family. Family is pretty much everything to me. Mm-hmm. I got into real estate as a 20-year-old in Orlando, Florida, so just got done with school at Purdue and decided I was moving to Orlando to sell real estate. I thought I was going to get into timeshare sales, and a friend of mine was like, you'd be really good at residential real estate, and I just started door knocking.
Oh, that's how you actually started door knocking.
Yes, sir.
That is amazing, because it's one of those activities that it depends on which side of the table you're on, whether it's an antiquated, nobody wants you to knock on your door, or it's hand-to-hand combat in the sales industry. So where do you see door knocking today?
I honestly think a lot of agents, I also will say there's a lot of neighborhoods now that don't allow solicitation.
Right.
But I liked it because I am one of those people, though, I'm not really afraid to dive into a conversation because I don't really have an expectation of the other person.
Right.
I just want to get information and give information and then see where it goes. Uh-huh. So there were some difficult conversations, door knocking, lots of slammed doors. And I finally made some headway when I started paying attention to the people that were opening the doors. And a lot of times it was moms with little kids. Their houses were a mess. There were, kids running, things flying, and they were all for sale by owners. And I basically would always get the door slammed in my face. And then finally I just said, well, who's going to help you sell your house if it doesn't sell? And the lady said, my friend. I've got lots of friends in real estate. Right. And I said, do your friends, are they in a similar phase of life as you? Do they have lots going on? And the answer was yes. And I said, well, I have nothing. I don't have a spouse. I don't have any responsibilities. My key responsibility is to sell your house as quickly as possible for the most amount of money. And she got ready to slam the door on me, and I threw my business card in there. And she called me back like 4 weeks later and said, I really hate that I'm calling you back, but you made a big impression. You're right. I tried to list with 3 of my friends. One of them got sick. The other one's husband had to go out of town for business. And the third one just canceled for no reason. So you have a shot. Take it. And awesome. I did.
Yeah. Did you list your house?
I did.
Did you sell it for more money in a short amount of time?
I did.
Awesome. Orlando timeshare. So actually, that's funny that you say that. I forgot about that part of your history. I've got a friend that's trying to sell a timeshare in Orlando. Do you know anybody that could help me out with that?
I can think about it. That's what I love to do is connect people. So
a connector of people?
Yes.
And I would say that's probably, interestingly enough, your one attribute that I didn't know you had when I asked you to take this job. So the team leader at the Keller Williams Louisville local franchise, describe that role. What is it you do? Why is it necessary, et cetera, et cetera?
I love helping people grow. So I didn't even know what I was going to love about this role when you hired me. It was very intimidating. If you don't know what a team leader's role is within the Keller Williams universe, I'm in charge of agent retention, agent attraction, making sure that our market center is profitable, and consulting with our agents, the top 20% typically, but I will consult with anyone who wants to grow their business.
Yep.
So I didn't even know exactly, you don't really know what you don't know until you don't know it.
Yeah, right.
So what I realized quickly is we teach agents on a very high level how to respect clients. Don't make them feel like you have commission breath where you're just coming at them. But then when you get in a leadership role, there's so much pressure from all different directions that we forget that same skill set with our agents. And so what I really did is went back to the basics. Who are they? What do they want? What's important to them? And how do we utilize real estate as a vehicle to connect them to those dreams and make those a possibility? And it's really listening a lot, asking great questions, and then following up.
Yep. which are keys to success in any business or sales role. And I don't like to think of your role as sales, and I like the fact that you framed it as agent attraction.
Yeah.
A lot of times we're deemed recruiters, and really all we want to do is bring people into our world that have the same beliefs and values and systems that we do. And again, this is not a shameless pitch for Keller Williams, but I'll make a shameless pitch for Keller Williams. Is that I think we look at this a lot differently. And one of the misnomers that you hear out is that Keller Williams is too corporate, or you got to drink the Kool-Aid or anything like that. And yet you take the time to talk to each individual business owner, agent, which is a business owner, and talk to them about being a business owner and how they want their business to look, which is everybody's business looks different.
Absolutely. Each Keller Williams is independently owned and operated. So you have an operating principal that kind of gives the vision of the direction that they want the market center to go in, which market center in KW world is brokerage.
Or office.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And we just connect people to opportunities. So it can look very different. Every conversation I have with every agent is very different. And I'm very clear to say I am not a body snatcher.
Right.
I don't even know if I want someone in our world depending on how they show up. So if you're high integrity, take great care of your clients, look at opportunity that comes from challenge, and you're growth minded, then we definitely want to talk to you. There's no pressure in joining us. It's legitimately looking at where do they want to go? What is that opportunity that they're searching for? And how can I help them find it? Yep. So when I'm making my calls to connect with people, I'm calling to find a lead listing agent for a team, or a spot in our market center for a director of first impressions, or an assistant team leader. It's legitimately who is a person that fills the gap that we have in our business model, and how do we connect them to that opportunity?
Yep. Again, I think you and I have similar DNA in the fact that our spouses would kill us for saying this, but we would do what we do for no money, within reason, right? But how do you authentically approach a conversation with someone where, at the end of the day, if you like this person, you want them to join our brokerage, right? It's not, let's not confuse the fact, like, we are looking to attract more people into our world. People call it recruiting. But how do you stay authentic to that fact that, like, hey, one, my entire role is to grow this market center, and I have the best interest in you in mind?
Asking great questions. So a lot of people get into real estate and they don't even know why they're in real estate. Like, you ask an agent, what do you want to do in real estate? And they all say, I want to make six figures. I want to make $100,000. I want to make $200,000.
Yeah.
Connecting them to why, because if the money is typically the only goal, you can lose sight of that very easily. Or if you net that amount very quickly, then what do you do for the rest of the year? Do you just slack off and do nothing? And
hopefully you recalibrate your goal.
Well, and that's the thing, is that I believe that there's a misconception in our world that we set goals for our people. Mm-hmm. We help them set goals for themselves.
Right.
So I have some agents that want to sell 5 homes a year, and that is all they want to do, and it creates a better life for them and the people that are most important to them. And I have some agents that want to sell 500 homes a year, and if they don't, then they're not happy with the outcome of that. So I've really gotten into listening to what it is they want, because it doesn't matter what I think they should want, or what you think they should want, or what our broker thinks they should want. It's what do they want, and how do we help them create that and make it a reality?
Yeah. And you said this, and this is mainstream culture now, but you said, why do they want it? So there's the myriad of whys is exponential, right? From I want to travel more, to I want to have a flexible schedule, to I want to provide a legacy for my family. What's your why? Other you said your family, right?
Yeah,
I get that.
I'll take that a step further and say, what is the why that I'm like, for why I do this? I learned very quickly that there are a lot of people out there looking for a voice, looking for somebody to help knock down a door of opportunity for them. I love all of my agent stories, but some of them are to sell real estate so that they can provide money to educate kids in third world countries. Like, how do you not jump on board with somebody that is their reason to live? Or, another agent had a daughter that was struggling with some mental health issues, and her big why was providing resources and knowledge around what that looks like. And so when they tell you their story, when you get deep enough into, I'm getting goosebumps.
I can see them from here.
Yeah. When they get deep enough in a relationship with you, the money isn't why they're here.
Right.
Will we teach them to make more money if that's their goal? Absolutely.
Well, the money is the tool that allows them to do their why.
Absolutely. Yes. And that's what I love most about this. So that's why even on the days where, and I won't lie, like I joked that we could do like a bloopers reel where I could read off all the unkind things that people have said to me when I'm reaching out. And most of the time I'm reaching out based on an agent recommendation. So you have a transaction with someone and you're like, they're fantastic, Jess, you should call them. But you don't always get the kindest responses. People don't really understand what goes on in our world. Yep. To me, that's really sad, because you can go anywhere and learn how to work with buyers and sellers, work with investors, or become an investor. But that's where Keller Williams starts. Like, once you get those things locked down, then we have a million opportunities. Again, I'm getting chills to connect you with. And that is my favorite thing, is like seeing someone's light, like the light in their eyes spark again when they're like, wait, I can utilize real estate as a vehicle to connect me to the children in this other country who need education, or I can utilize real estate to help my son go to college, and he would be the first person in the family to go to college. So I think what I'm teaching my son is that you show up for other people in all the right ways. You make mistakes. We like to talk about failing forward. And in my past, anything that I didn't believe was perfect, then I would avoid. So if I didn't do something perfect, I would avoid it. If I made a mistake, I wanted to cover it up. And now I've learned that the only way to continue to grow as a human, as an agent, as just a person contributing to our world, is to make as many mistakes as you can, right, as quickly as you can, because you're just picking up that much more info to give more bandwidth to help more people.
I love that. And I think about Robert Kiyosaki, and I don't remember if this was Rich Dad Poor Dad, but he talks about the best thing for any entrepreneur to do, and I'm going to get the number wrong, is to start their fifth business. And they're like, why 5? He's like, because 4 out of 5 fail.
Yeah.
So the sooner you get to the 5th one, the more the likelihood of your success goes. And my passion for real estate is that it creates more millionaires than anybody in the world, in any other industry, and it permanently changes the trajectory of a family when they own real estate. So in my life, I've seen real estate, like the idea that you could be somewhere different in 5 years is 100% true.
Yeah.
And real estate is one of those vehicles that we get to do it. So let's get away from real estate a little bit. Where else do you see? No, we're not going to go there. I'm going to go with the 3 questions. All right. Let's start with number 1. I think you hit on this a little bit more, but let's dive into it. What is your purpose? Why were you put on this earth?
Honestly, I think to help people see what they are capable of achieving. I've had some key people in my life at different times where, you're knocked down so hard that you don't know if you can get back up off the ground. Mm-hmm. And if some of those people hadn't been dynamically placed in my universe, I don't know what my life would look like. So on the days where I don't want to call people that I've never met, or I listen to the chatter of like, sometimes anything less than positive, info that's out there everywhere, then I tell my ALC members and our agents, like, the day that I stop making the call is the day that I might miss out on that one person. It could just be one person that needed to hear my voice that said, why don't you meet me for coffee? Or why don't you come to our office? We have a world of opportunity for you to connect to, and we believe that you can do this. And again, I get chills, which to be able, you found me and I wasn't even looking for this role. To be able to have the ability to impact people in that way, I am forever grateful for our worlds colliding the way that they did. And, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I'm learning as I go, but there is nothing that I find more difficult and more gratifying than meeting these agents where they are in their lives, getting to know who they are, who their families are, who their pets are, like what's important to them.
Right.
Because when I know that, I can help them overcome their own mental objections. And then just, our industry right now is under so much scrutiny. We're being portrayed as people that work 2 hours a day and drive, $200,000 cars and all have mansions on the beach. Now, all those things are great, but I can tell you, and I have had jobs in other sales industries, high sales industries. I have not met better people in general than real estate agents. They are 100% always trying to do their best to help someone else. And I think sometimes the public misses that completely. So
thank you, media, by the way.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
No, I know why you and I our paths crossed. I want to tell that story here in a minute, but we were in Key West for my wife's birthday, and I'm walking down the street. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?" One of my friends was like, "Why in the heck do you say hi to everybody? Why do you think they want to talk to you?" I said, "I don't know if they want to talk to me or not, but I refuse to live in a world where I walk past another human being and not acknowledge their existence." And I bring that up to you never know what conversation will lead to or what opportunity you miss if you're not having that human connection with people. So, and I bring that up. So I was the team leader before I hired Jessica, and I asked our ALC, our Associate Leadership Council, to go through the top 500 agents and put a circle next to, or a mark next to the names of people they wanted to be in business with. And literally, I think you had 3 or 4 people circle you. You used to be at Keller Williams Louisville. And so I reached out, just happenstance that someone had mentioned that we needed to get together. I didn't know you were trying to sell magazines, and nor did I think I was going to offer you a team leader job. But we sat over here for some reason I couldn't figure out how to turn the lights on. It was dark, and we talked about, and as you're walking out, I was like, wait a second, let me shoot my shot. Do you want to be my team leader? And she's like, oh, are you serious? So, and again, I had no preconceived notions on how that conversation was going to go, other than let's connect and see where you are in your world, and I can share where I'm at in my world, and see if they intersect, and they did. Yeah,
I mean, I feel like everything lining up to create more opportunity for other people. And we did have cards stacked against us. We had some people that were betting against us. And
they still are. They still will. Haters gonna hate.
Yeah. And I think the beautiful part of that is the people that were here that kind of have heard those things and seen those things and have seen what we're doing with and for our agents. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of great places that you can hang your real estate license, but if you really want to impact lives and change your world, just open up your eyes. And Jimmy will tell you, one of the unique things that we do here at KW is our KPA, where it's an assessment of
Keller personality assessment.
Yeah, of what are your skills, where will you find fulfillment? And I really didn't truly understand all of the things that were available to me. Like, I walked through the real estate world like this,
yep.
And then you sent me to TL Skills Camp, and I was legitimately like mind blown of like, how had I been in this world before and just been so, I guess, blindfolded by my own limitations in my mind. And I know my KPA says that I'm higher on the skepticism side. I would challenge that at this point, because you and this world has helped me understand that my mind is the first place where I have to see the opportunity that exists. Mm-hmm. And if I am limited in what I'm seeing, then I'm not going to be the best leader for the people that I'm helping find their journey through real estate. So I'm telling you, like, again, I sound like a commercial for KW,
right.
And it's not intentional. It's just how much my life has changed in a year.
Well, and I've seen it, and I love it, by the way, just an FYI. My life has changed a lot in a year too. So so you bring up, and again, let's not make this a commercial for KW, although off the air I will be a commercial for KW, but the human individual is capable of so much. And yet we go through life with blinders on, like you said. And there's a billion amazing industries out there, a billion amazing companies. Keller Williams is one of them, where they actually put their quote unquote employees or their business partners first. So every decision that is made, to not make this about Keller Williams, whatever profession you're in, go find an organization that is there to pour into you, because a good organization is going to pour into you because your growth is going to help their growth, right?
Right. They want you to win.
Yeah.
Like,
so if
they
you're
just want you to win.
If you're in a situation where the people that are leading you aren't waking up every day on how to live the best version of your life, you're in the wrong organization.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Yeah. So I don't know how do you convey that to somebody? Say, listen, whether you join Keller Williams or not, I want you to take your blinders off and see the world for what it is and the number of opportunities that you have around you, instead of the number of limitations that are sitting in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would start by asking good questions, whatever business you're in. And if your leadership is hesitant to answer questions that you have about not necessarily their personal lives, but how they got to where they are, then that would probably be your first indication that it may not be a growth mindset business. It might be a scarcity mindset where they're afraid to help you excel, because instead of looking at you as someone that elevates the level of the professionalism, it would be a competition. So they wouldn't want you to succeed to a level that they feel threatened by you, where we're like, like you were like, who's my team leader? And now we're looking like, who's the next team leader
right.
to pull up into our world? Or it's just a totally different way of viewing everything.
Yeah. You said scarcity or deficit mindset in our industry. What would you say to an agent that's running around like Chicken Little right now? Because I literally hear and see both sides of it. I see teams and individuals that are having the best years of their life or their best year of their life in 23, 24. And I also see people that have had the worst year and they're saying, I can't sell real estate anymore. This market's terrible. What would you say to someone and somewhere, what is the message around the people that have a scarcity mindset about what's going on in the market right now?
Well, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
Who said that? Henry Ford.
Okay.
Come on, you worked at Ford. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, no. That's really funny. 100%. And I was one of those people that I think I was waiting for other people to tell me what I was capable of. And even great leadership, like, they don't really always know what you're capable of. So to be that dependent on someone else's belief of what you can do, it's not good for you. It's not good for the people around you. So it's legitimately set your sights on what you want and then build a business plan around how to get there. And that's, again, one of the you're great at that. I've seen you consult with a lot of agents. I've seen you break down numbers to help them get to where they want to go, whether it's big or small. Again, we don't have an opinion of that. We just want them to get what they want.
Right. So a friend of ours, Scott Toombs, I think it was Scott Toombs that asked me this question, is basically close your eyes and think of the world that you want to create for yourself. And then ask yourself, has another human being done that before? If the answer is yes, then it can be done by you.
Absolutely.
If the answer is no, you could be the first.
Yeah.
So there's no world that you could create in your mind that you couldn't achieve. Now, people might start at a different point. People might have better access or better tools to get you there faster. But at the end of the day, like, if a human being can do anything in this world, anybody can do it, because we're that capable of really weird, but that capable of a creature to accomplish an amazing thing.
100%.
All right. So the next question is what gives you peace? Most stressful day in the world. You're coming home and Brad's like, what do you need? And you're going to say this.
That is, there's a lot of answers to that. So I guess, first and foremost, my son, I love him. He is a riot, and also has listened to way too much negotiation in his early.
And apparently rap music.
Yes.
Because he told her after hanging out with my kids that snitches get stitches.
Yes. I have no idea where he got that.
I've never heard my kids say that.
But all of our ALC members at that point, he was way cooler than I will ever be. So if that's an in with them, like I was like, okay, they actually like me because my kid just said something completely inappropriate where I have no idea where he got it. But it would be with my family. I have amazing parents. And I think the other thing that ties me to this role in a huge way is that my father it just retired at 79. He was a gastroenterologist and internal medicine, geriatrics, internal medicine. And he loved his patients. Like when we were kids and we go out to dinner, he would be stopped by like 5 people in a restaurant. And at the time you're a teenager and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying because you just want to eat and be with, get out of there so you can go hang out with your friends or whatnot. But he has a servant's heart. Yep. And like you mentioned, money does not motivate him. My mom is the same way. She was a nurse. And I feel like I am in some way playing into the legacy of serving people. Like I could never survive in the medical world because I'm the person like, I don't like the smell of hospitals. They make me totally uncomfortable. And I'm also my family. I have 3 other siblings. I'm the risk taker. They're all more of a like, and so being kind of different than your family in some ways sometimes feel isolating. I felt isolated as a child.
Right.
But it's really cool because one time my dad said, if any of my kids got dropped off in the middle of New York City and had no money, nothing, like
Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando. Yeah. He's like, you'd survive and thrive. And so I just am blessed and so grateful to have the people in my life that have been through the best and the worst. And if I can come close to helping as many people as he has, I will it'll blow my mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're on quotes today. Zig Ziglar, if you can help people get what they want, you'll get everything that you want in your world. Yep. That one quote probably resonates with me more than anything. And I think it vibrates with you as well in your DNA. So, all right, last question, and we've got a couple more minutes before we wrap up. What makes you profit? And I say profit, and I've kind of shaped this a little bit because peace, purpose, and profit comes from the idea that if what I'm working on doesn't create peace, profit, or purpose, then I'm putting energy in the wrong area, right? So, you got your purpose, you got your peace. What is your profit? What do you do on a daily basis that one makes you money or is a metric for success?
Yeah, that's a great question because one of the things that was important to me when I accepted this role, and this is a little different than some brokers that run market centers or some other team leaders within the Keller world, but I don't do a ton of production by choice. So I still work with family or friends, but I'm not out there competing against my agents. So someone with a mindset of I guess, deficit, that there isn't a scarcity, that there isn't enough for all of us, would look at what I made as an agent and what I make as a team leader, and they're not even.
Oh, no.
This is a servant business. You're a servant's heart business on the TL side. So there was never a doubt in my mind, though, that if I'm going to show up every day and help other agents become profitable, I do not want to compete against them, because if part of my role is working with the agents to get better business, better at consulting, better at negotiating, and we go in to interview for a listing, because what's the first question if somebody's interviewing agents? You would typically ask, who else are you interviewing?
Who else are you interviewing?
Yeah, so let's say it was 3 of my other agents in our office. Like, I would know exactly where their weak points would be, and I am a highly competitive person with myself.
Right.
So I know you and I had talked about it when I first started, and it was like, I just said I don't want to do that, because I want my full focus to be on looking at how to help other agents become profitable. So it is funny, because you go out and you set a goal, and I've got my goals for, what we need to do for the market center. And then I said, I'd like to sell 10 houses this year, just to keep me in the loops, in the know-how. And again, these are not clients that would be interviewing anybody else.
Yeah.
And some of them I'm pulling agents in on, but I've already done 6 of those, which it's not my focus. You know,
Right.
I'm not actively staying in touch with my database, which is not the right thing to do. That being said, I believe if you look to help people, like we've talked about, and you understand business and the models and systems that work behind your business to keep it working when you're taking some downtime, profit will be there. The other piece of that, again, is a lot of people in our world don't even understand the multiple streams of income that you can have from a KW.
Right.
You know, when we talk about profit share, you would be shocked at how many people don't even know what that means.
Right.
And it's essentially, if you've heard of people talk about our pyramid, it's not a pyramid. It's
Right.
legitimately, as business owners, we're in business with our agents,
Yep.
and we want them to share in the profitability. So at the end of the month, when all the profit comes in, it's divided between the market center, keeping the market center running, our investors, and then the other 50% is shared with our agents. So,
Yep. 48.
okay.
Yeah. So again, not to be a commercial for Keller Williams, and one of the value propositions of Keller Williams is in the market center, the investors or the ownership group shares back 48% of profit back to their agents. So, do you know that number? I know for the first time in a long time, we're really starting to share profit at a noticeable level back to the agents. Do you know that number?
I believe this year it was close to 13,000. Like 1 month, might have been May. It was close to $13,000.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, that's just opportunity for you to utilize real estate to help you go after those dreams and things that you may not even know are possible.
Yeah.
And if I can say anything about you, and the people
Let's not.
and the people we have here, you will never find a better group of people that want to support your goals. It doesn't matter what they are. If you want to climb Mount Everest, if you want to own an island, if you want to help a third world country, there is a whole organization of agents that are really waiting for you to come and join us. And we love to rally people to do things that they think are not possible.
Yes, absolutely. And you say those things, but we've got people in our world that are building houses in Haiti. We've got people that have goat farms in Somalia. I've got that wrong, but again, this goes back to money being a tool and not an outcome, right?
Yeah.
The outcome is I want to do this, that, or the other with my family. We just know that money has to be one of those tools. There's other tools involved in it, but money is one of them.
Absolutely.
All right, we got 2 minutes left. So, what do you want to share with the audience in regards to this is your official 2 minutes of make your pitch for Keller Williams Louisville and what it means to be part of this market center?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've done that
Yeah,
a lot
you done.
unintentionally. And I think that's the best part about it. If you are with leadership or other agents that really believe in what you're doing, it doesn't feel like a sales pitch. It's just like when you go and meet a seller or a buyer and they can tell that you actually care about what's in their best interest. It's a totally different conversation. The dynamic is different. So if and when you receive a call from me, it is going to be because someone in our world spoke very highly of an agent, and I'm complimenting you. I'm excited to talk to you. I want to know what's important to you, and you may never join KW. That's okay.
Yep.
If you get into a situation where it's a sticky transaction and you need an additional voice of reason, you know how sometimes clients get a little thrown off,
Yep.
and the agent will tell them something 800 times and it's just not clicking. We're able to kind of be the liaison between that and help them understand why what you're saying is legitimate. And we've had some deals stay together because I've just said, hey, this is Jessica. I'm calling in to check on the actual client.
Yep.
So we're just doing big things here for our agents. We want them to be successful. We want them to be connected to the opportunity that means something to them.
Yep.
And the other part of that would be I was one of those people, got married a little bit later, didn't have my child until I was a little older. So when KW would ask me about my big why, it would totally overwhelm me and make me feel like there must be something wrong with me, because what is my big why? Your big why can be a bunch of little whys.
Yep.
Your big why can be a big why for you for 2 years, and then you either change the direction of what you're focused on, or you accomplish it, and you're consistently finding things that mean something to you to attach the goal to, and we're just utilizing real estate as the vehicle to help get you there.
Yep.
And I say there's nobody else that I have met, and I have done real estate in 4 different areas of the country.
How many different brokerages? 5?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question. So in Michigan, I was only at 1.
Yep.
And when I moved to Louisville, you know how you don't know how good something is until you know?
leave.
Yeah. I did not realize it was the culture, it was the support, it was the growth, it was a family feeling. And I moved here and I was lost. So I was a 60-hour-a-week agent. I got excited on holiday weekends because I knew nobody else would be working, but I could get an offer or a listing. And then I moved here, and I didn't know anyone, and everybody asked me where you went to school, and I said college, and they're like, nobody cares about that.
Right.
So I hopped. And so I would also be hesitant if you are a broker or owner when people say, oh, that person's a hopper. They might be hopping because they can't find what they're looking for. And the cool thing about this role is I now get to create a place that I hope people don't want to leave. Mm-hmm. And I do that by listening to what they want. And I can't always implement every idea that gets thrown our way. But we truly care about our people, as they don't walk around with a dollar sign on their forehead.
Yeah. I mean, and I think you embody for agents by agents. Yeah. So I do appreciate that. And again, not to minimize Keller Williams, but make sure that whatever organization you're in is wants the best for you, because if you're healthy, they're going to be healthy. You can start with why, or start with the activities, or start with the outcome, but it's this circle that you've got to come back to at some point and say, yeah, why am I showing up every single day? And then if Jessica calls you, get the milk. She'll give you the milk. She won't necessarily sell you the cow right away, but there's things that we do here that, and again, I think this is what's unique about Keller Williams, is that we would rather the entire industry be very successful, because it's going to help us. Rising tide lifts all ships. And again, wherever you're at in this industry, we're collaborative, we're colleagues, and Keller Williams here to work with you, for you, or be in partnership with you, however you want to look at it.
Absolutely. That was perfectly said. We want you to win, whatever you're doing in life.
All right, Jessica, I appreciate it. You're an amazing leader. You're a selfless leader. And I know it probably goes unsaid more than it should. So thank you for everything that you do for our agents.
Thanks for bringing me into this world.
Yeah. All right. Y'all have a good one. Talk to you soon.